here round 1 against Bomber Boss. I haven't played against this player before. They don't have any results, so we're keeping it blind. This hand can go places, but obviously is a bit sketch. I kind of think in the dark I will keep this, like, I don't know what I'm looking for, right? And this is, I can see their hand and know what they're playing and then guide my hand appropriately. I think this is keep. Obviously not great. I would like to have like 10 more Stonewatch or something. But against an unknown opponent, I think this is an okay hand. Obviously it's already a multi-6 because of Kaiser, right? But so Alter 1 will be probe into Birdblade, and we won't wait on probe for Shredder, because we already have Birdblade lined up, so we can trigger Shredder and maybe discard Discarder. But like I said, we want to change our hand or sculpt our hand appropriate to what our opponent is doing. So we want to see it. I think I forgot to add second toy bridge. I think I'm still playing as that. Need to revert that change. I think the second toy bridge is better than Narset. Okay. Playing against Gag. We found a bazaar, it's really not good for us. So we want to find Wasteland. But Lotus lets us play Shredder and Preordain again. I think it's worth it. So if I keep this, I can trigger Shredder 2 Shredders next turn. I think that's play. The problem is obviously they get another turn of bazaring, but I think that's alright. Yeah, I found another rule draw now. I think I'm okay discarding Kydra here. Our plan is to kill them with birds before they come online. Is it? No, this changes things. They don't have any creatures that cast Togek yet, right? So if we cut them off Bazaar, it's very likely we cut them off Hogek, which is not nothing. I think I like that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna top the Mentor and top the Flusterstorm. Now I can discard Flusterstorm to my bird. My bird is now large enough to block the other one. I can strip mine the other. Next turn we can deploy the mentor and hopefully get friction going. And notably, if they want to activate their root wallers, they need to fetch Birdlade, and Badness doesn't cast their other root wallers or the root wallers. Which is an important choice we need to make. Yeah. So we're gonna play the mentor. Next turn we're probably going off. We wanna play the second bird and Birdlade and hope that it's getting us places. Or are we even playing the second bird? We kinda want to find our sword plowshares for this whole gig. Maybe we're not actually. More I think about it, I think the way the board is currently standing, we are already winning. So what we want to do is stop them from killing us with this whole gag. I actually think I'm not going to cast the second bird. Instead, try to find the sword plowshares here. Take an ancestral recall. I'm gonna discard the Stonewatch here. We already discarded the Caldra, and I don't think the sword is very good. Or is it? No, I think probably better to keep the bird around. And this is interesting. Normally I want to keep the wasteland for the bazaar, but I drew my whole breacher as well. So I'm probably going to wait them off their black-red swords. Notably, right, we are still under pressure from this whole we still need to find our swords, but I think we're in an okay spot. And I have a wasteland. The swords gives me a redraw next turn, an additional monk. And Shredder stops them from trap checking. But I think I think I can't like I need to spend 2 mana on my equipping the swords next turn as well, right? So probably not worth. Something I could think about is I could actually I like that. Gonna flash in the Hull Breacher, then I'm gonna trade with Bird, Hull Breacher. The problem with that obviously is that now they can attack with auto one, but I should be able. Maybe that is bad because I still want to find my possible shot outright. Is still, yeah, they can recast it. It was done. Shouldn't have done that. They can just cast it with the Kailas from the roof wallers, and I was thinking it bought me another turn, but I was wrong. Opponent has problems tapping the right other for creature mana for instead of the mana. Just the storm is not the draw we're looking for. Yeah, maybe it was just wrong to discard Kydra early turns because he needed to stabilize against Togek. Probably just wrong. Like if I had Kydra, I would have kept the Stoneforge Mystic and would have got Kydra into play, and the Togek wouldn't be a problem, right? It's not good enough. Crazy. It's like the problem, right? It's one of the reasons why Hogak is a good deck is because you have to play all these Cluster Storm forces for the combo matchups, and then you just get wrenched by 1/1s. Unfortunate. So against Hogak you want Grey Fade. Also Plowshares and Tabernacle. We take out Bloodstones. That's sort of Fire Knight. Our Soul Breachers, Force of Negation. Probe. And I think one Shredder. Yeah. So basically just bring in everything that stops away from happening. Yeah. I think I could have won this first game if I didn't discard Kydra on this first turn. Maybe it's just overthinking it. Like I could have just drawn a Sword Splash right in this game, would have also been completely fine. So this land is interesting. It has Wasteland for Pazar. It has solid mana base, so we can't get wasted. And it has a Force. This will just not be the good draw, so I think I'm gonna mulligan it. This is lacking white mana. It's also just not good enough. So we're hoping that our 4-card hand has like Layla and Tabernacle basically. God, these hands were all terrible. I guess it's not supposed to be today, I guess. The problem is basically right, we're playing not against Dredge where our hate actually is guaranteed to be good. Playing against Dredge, but like I can't keep the sand either, right? This doesn't cast any spells. I have to open like I have a free with Ancestral. Yep. The best hand we had so far. Turn 1 Ancestral. It's Layla. Would have been great if I hit the laptop or someone's Soundwatch. Was not supposed to be, I guess. Just one roller. We're just praying they don't have many hollow ones. Not many hollow ones. Okay. So the question is, they probably want to possibly go right. Do we play into that with playing out Moxon? But I think we just have to. We just at the stage where we just can't beat anything. Mulligan to free ride. Let's hope that we get there. The problem with Tabernacle is obviously that they beat us. I think that's good enough. Like we want to get the blockers out of the way, and our token is indestructible anyway, so we would only lose to Stoneforge, which is acceptable. And they should just take the water because just a player can cast. Okay. Yeah. So we don't need to pay for the token because it's indestructible. Without Stoneforge. If they don't block, I'm gonna strip. Okay. Whew, winning on a multi-free feels pretty nice. Let's try to do this like on 7 or 6 this time, please. Would like to not have to mulligan to free again. But then again, there's no card source, so we can keep it. And it's also just 2-0. They kept 7. And okay, this is the best hand we had. I think this is obviously not as good as Leyline, but I don't know, I think this has potential. That's not a keep from them. I'm pretty confident on that. I'm gonna fetch basic planes, not get wasteland, and play both my flips here. Yeah, land is good. We can go on a corridor bit. Notably, right, we will get in the awkward spot where we have to sort Sogek, and we'll give them 8 life, but we're still on the plan of just killing them as quickly as possible. And at the moment they can't even cast it, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they should block with the Distress Supplier here to get... okay. I guess our opponent was pretty naughty with it, so they are just not that familiar. Cute into misplaced Ginger, who last time was on Finger Beach. So yeah. I think I'm going to keep this even if it's not a great hand. Like, obviously I want to have a force against the combo deck, but this plays turn 1 Shredder, turn 2 Ancestral, doing stuff. I'm still going to fetch Island because they could have changed text right and could be on Hogek. The Volcanic could be Breach, could be Viva Tempo. Lotus is obviously very annoying. But they didn't cast anything. Okay, Ancestral, I'm going to Ancestral in response, hoping that I can find boss, but I didn't. Looking at their hand. I think I'm willing to gamble that they are on Tinkerbridge again and discard this plow here. Yep, I was correct. They're on Tinkerbridge. So the question now is, do we go for Narset since they have Pyro? They have a Braid for Stoneforge, which is annoying. They have Pyro for what's it called? They have Pyro to protect the bridge. But I think I'm still willing, or I can't cast what I'm saying. I don't have level 2 for I don't have level 2 for Method. So I'm just going to make them do it so they don't get. This is obviously the advantage that I get to keep up for Fluster. I'm just very all over the place, sorry. I think I'm willing to fight over this. I could just have drawn another Fluster, right? But and I'm discarding the Shredder here. I think I'm going to fight over this basically because like this is my Shredder, right? And they can still discard my. I mean, they can still cast this. They can still kill my Stoneforge with Lotus Petal Braid, but okay. Probe post. All this is kind of weird, but okay. If they for some reason don't choose to kill Stoneforge with a 2-turn clock, it would be kind of nice. I mean, them tanking could mean they have drawn Breach and thinking what's the best way to kill me next turn. It could also mean that they don't have anything and thinking the best thing to do against my ward. Fan. Okay, yeah, that is separating my. It's fine. Where I'm going to play Method here. They didn't have force. And we find Lotus. Lotus is really nice because now we can hardcast further next turn. Ditching Hydra because Preordain has text in this matchup. Obviously, if they have another artifact destruction spell, it's kinda sad to play out a Lotus. But these decks generally play one Upgrade main. So them pausing here, I think means they have Vamp. Or they're thinking about, okay, I'm thinking about this Mystical. Not sure what they want to get here. They only have 1 mana, or maybe 2 if their last card is a land. They can't draw anything. I could find another Pyroblast for the bird. Yeah. What did they grab? Did they just misclicked? They didn't reveal anything. That's certainly interesting. Okay, Force is also a nice draw. Let's game on. Okay. Against Tinker Reach, we want these 6 cards. Yeah, and we don't want the Fluxes, right? And these cards, and we take out Swords. The only real creature threat is Lavinia, and Lavinia gets outclassed by Kadra. We don't want Sword because it's low, we don't need games. That's something that we have to think about, right? As they are Tinker decks, they could have swings, but I generally think it's not worth keeping, so. I think percent is good enough. It's obviously dice to turn 1 Tinker, but if we draw a blue card, we have Force. And we have turn 1 Stoneforge, which is nice. Emerald to 6. Maybe I want to wait then actually now. Emerald to 6. Like I'm just so far ahead here, right? Like I just need him to stumble so I can capitalize on the Stoneforge. I'm guessing they're thinking about playing a cantrip or holding up Pyro. What this usually is. Yeah, I decided to cast cantrip. Are you okay with me? Hmm. Another land. I think I've decided against that. I think I just need to pressure with this hand the more I think about it. Like, what do I do with the demonic for breach here and if I guess I'm still dead? Maybe. Okay, they have SS Dragon. It's pretty good for them. I'm probably just gonna swing with card draw and waste them. Obviously, wasting them is a bit risky if they have other saga, but I think I just need them to stumble here. I'm just very likely to die to the combo here, and so I want to limit them on as much mana as possible. Like, they clearly, my read from turn 1 is they have Pyroblast in hand, right? So I want to make it as hard as possible for them to cast their spades instead of Pyroblast. Okay, Mox obviously will make that easier for them. Second force is okay. We hit them for 6 here. Yeah, 9. I think I'm going to play second Stoneforge. We open ourselves up to getting flustered, but my read is Pyro, right? And this way they can't fetch twice. Yep, that's fine. Like now, we can stop them from doing stuff. Yeah, the next turn for sure, right? Not sure what they're tempting for. Maybe Lotus, maybe Reach. Lotus is pretty annoying because now they have enough red mana for Reach. Biden's fine. Now, not how that works. Oh, I think my opponent messed up. I guess the hand must have. I don't know. What could the hand have been? Like we know for sure. Well, we think that they had Pyro, right? And this Vampiric probably got the Lotus. I would expect them to have combo, but I know. Alright. Round 3 against JJBK 2005. Again, the person I don't know. I think I'm again going to lean on this hand has. I can look at their hand, I can dig to a card I want and just turn one Stoneforge, so I'm going to keep it. So this is IE and uh, wait, leading on Wasteland probably means they're on shops. They're not 9 either. I mean, if they look me up, they could lead it Stoneforge, which would obviously be bad. Yep, pretty much the worst. This is just insane, right? I don't have a fetch. For Tundra, okay, now I have a wedge. That named Stoneforge. It's really bad for me. I think I have to keep this just to be able to play through the effects. I mean, obviously I could look for force, but I think this is a quick play. The problem, right? Restricted cards are not something you can play around. Or something you shouldn't play around, what I should say. So now I'm going to waste them off Academy since I know they don't have land. I knew they didn't have land. Maybe we can lock them under their own sphere as well. So far so good. This is obviously a bad draw. I think I'm going to shuffle this. Boss would obviously be nice to convert this Justice down, but I think I just want to find more lands and more actual action. Like I kinda want a shredder. And it's obviously really bad for me if they find another land. Okay, that's bench play. I wouldn't do it. Like they can, the way to win this game is just apply pressure with Saga. Now I can cruise, discard the Moxen, and hope to find an answer. I don't like this play from my opponent. Now they can't draw another waste and activate. Yeah, or they can activate Saga. I don't think it's a good play. Sure, you get to keep me off of my, what's it called? You get to keep me off of mana, but you need to advance your own game plan, right? And stuff for one. Obviously annoying because you can ping. I think I want to keep up the force for the touchdown. For the same reason, I'm not going to play my merchant scroll here since I want to keep up the force here. Yeah, I think, should I get ancestral here? I think I want to apply pressure at this point. Like, I get this sword here, right? And if they can't kill the Stoneforge next turn, I can kill the Ballista with my activation and then trade with the Lodestone. Probably Lodestone, would guess. That. While we waited for the force. Faster. So it's interesting, we could also waste them off the workshop again. But I think I want to get the threat into play now. Oh no, can't activate yet. So I'm actually going with this play. I'm playing sword, threatening to equip next turn. They don't have another land. Pump the Ballista. Or Provoker. Also need to land that. That only requires a 1 mana land and not 2 mana land. And that's game. So I'm still not 100% sure if they are on Golos or Acro Shops. I just didn't see enough cards out of the deck. They're gonna think they're gonna trim like it's Acro Shops since that's the more common archetype. Basically, the only changes we would make is against Acro Shops we want Swords Plowshares, and against Wolf Shops we just don't. Basically, the situation. We could make the assumption that they are on Gola Shops because they just didn't draw any action and Acro Shops has more action. That's kinda a long reach. This end is solid, it has 1 basic, it has Plow and Force for Sphere if we need to, and it has just very stable mana. Kinda crazy, right? Yeah, it's Acro Shops. And then all listed seems. We beat turn 1, Needle, Stoneforge Misting, Chalice, breaking 2 of my artifacts. Kinda crazy. Sagas of 9 would probably have to waste that at this point. Very true. They're really on the world list. Like, this deck isn't played like in actual. Like, I think at this point it might be really years. Another saga is really bad for me. And really should have forced this Mox. Void Dodge. Man, they're really can't explain how insane that is. Like, and meeting them at 2-0 also, right? That's not very. I think that like they have been just printed way more powerful cards, right? Playing a old Scourge deck can embarrassing at this point. Now they get to waste me and make Saga Token and attack with all. So basically I could trade the Ravage Up ability for my bird here. But I think it's not worth. Like we are already so behind, right? It's not really like we're probably just losing to Cyberpunk. That's my point. I don't think it's a good idea to try to get tricky. At least we get 2 triggers of the birds here. It hopefully allows us to play Kaldra, to cruise next turn, and maybe allows us to what's it called? Allows us to cast Energy Flux the turn after. I'm not going to play the Mox here because of bird trigger reasons. Obviously worse against a sphere effect, but like I said, we're just so far behind that I'm not really playing around much here. Then walk. I don't have to jump this, right? Because they can't put, like if they eat artifacts, the creature shrinks, right? Yeah. Strange attack. Okay. Now there's Flux. Okay, so now we're going to play Sapphire. Play Flux. Discard Stoneforge. Discard Caldra. Waste them of Tomb, so they can only pay for one thing. Probably we could still die to Lens plus Walking Ballista. I don't like this should win, right? So well, this is winning at this point, so I'm not going to risk anything and leave both my birds behind. probably saving. Like they should just eat everything except maybe the Void Scourge, I guess. Yeah, I mean, either they keep the Archboss Ravager and play to exactly land Ballista, or they put it on the Void Scourge and hope to rip a land. And me not finding another source flush as. Oh, they need the soul land, right? So I have to pay for the Scourge. Seems like they're playing to the Ballista out. Not a bad choice. So I'm keeping the Sapphire around this turn. Right, and then we have thoughts if they have like Birdblade Cruiser or something out of that time period. But I shouldn't have paid, I should have floated mana and floated mana. I cast Deco Time. Was probably the right play. Okay. Alright, 3-0. Alright, round 4. Solar time, baby. I believe Tinker player. Okay, their last result was Echo Shots, but that's also some time ago. So I wouldn't bet on it. I have this player as a Tinker player in my head. We're actually looking at our data. The last results were actually on for colors, which also would explain why we are stopping for we are drawing our hand. I think I'm gonna restart my model just to check that I didn't disconnect. Nope, not me. Okay, now I have one here. They didn't show me the rows. I think this is still a keep in the dark. I have fours, I have basic. Okay, the end shops. Think with the way the send is like I want to go pro pre-order in turn one, right? And Dia is really messing with this. And I kinda need to get into wow, that was a great draw. So they're in gold, interesting. So I'm going to play Shredder into Soundwatch here. Notably, they can't waste. They have a ghost quarter, so I can still get one of my basics, and even next turn still can get one. So the Crucible isn't the biggest problem at the moment. Damn, get a Tabernacle is a big problem. That was a really good draw for them. So I'm going to pay for the Stoneforge with the Birdblade. Play a Lissandra. I should have preordained. I misplay. It could cost me. Because that was also not great. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked. Because now I could have, if they'd done this, I could have activated this in my main phase, or in their main phase, and would have had more mana. I don't think it matters that much. The Stoneforge is pretty anemic at this point, but still not the right play. This was obviously good. Jumping here is interesting. So again, the interaction of Caldera and Tabernacle, we don't have to pay for our germ because it's indestructible. I'm probably getting Caracas. I don't know any of their cards now. Oh, they can Saga. Interesting. Start by Ancestral. I think we're gonna brainstorm now. Interesting draws. I don't think Narset is just good enough. Like, it's just too slow, right? I want to kill my opponent before they get to go off with Saga Crucible. So what I'm going to do here is put these cards back. A Shredder. I guess I'm holding the Mox to trigger the Shredder. It's more important than staying around Sphere, I guess. Because I just need the power and play, so threaten. I should threaten, well, to force, no, to threaten that I've got it before making up. Key. This probably means they have Void Key in their deck, which is bad for me. It's an interesting draw. So, started by Ruby. I'm gonna play Sword of Fire and Ice, get a trigger. Just can preordain. It should. So we force them to jump. The question is, what is more detrimental to them? Drawing the saga for one turn? Like, destroying saga stops the tutor ability, right? Probably though, like play. We deny them one construct, they can't make another one next turn, and stop them from finding whatever. Like they could have the top to find Time Vault. Or, I don't know. Seems like it buys the most time. Okay, so we get prison shops. Again, we want these 5 cards, but this time we don't want the swords, because they just don't have enough creatures. We are cutting probably these Soul Breacher Narset type cards, because they're just too slow. Clusters. Yeah, I think I like that. Usually I like to keep a Narset and cut Githexan Probe, but because I'm a legit shredder deck, these 1 cost or 0 cost cuts are pretty important. So Energy Flux is still probably our best card, but it's not as good as against the Aggro Shops deck, because they just don't play as much to the board. This hand is probably a trapper if I'm going to keep it, but like it just has so many powerful cards that I'm probably discarding here. I think this might be a mistake. Like, they probably can need a Stoneforge, and this does nothing early, so might just lose to Saga. That's just so powerful if it works. Or it has just so many powerful cards. Getting to Mana Void here to maybe stop turn 1 Golas. It would be nice. So here is the question again, right? Do we fetch out basics against Ghost Quarter or Wasteland? But I think in the blind it's correct to fetch basics. So play both of each, obviously, 4 of each. Next turn we're probably just going to cast Time Walk as an Explorer to get another land drop. That's probably correct, I think. Why is it? Mana. Okay, that's bonus. Yep, now we're gonna cast Explore to cast Energy Flux next turn. It was a really nice draw. Obviously they can find Soaring now, but I think it's still correct. Like it puts them under so much pressure. And they just can't really answer it, right? The action they can take is fetching Soaring out of Saga, but even that it's not great, and we can wasteland one of their mana sources. I'm drawing pretty hot today. But I know what you need, right? The combination of playing well and drawing hot. Our opponent can pay for one of the, or for two at the moment. They're probably going to pay for Godos and Artemok, I would guess. Maybe make a construct. I don't know. Pretty difficult position for them. Alright. Yeah, gonna let the Lotus go. So I could waste the workshop, but I think I'm just going to cast Ancestral here to let the cards flow, or like hopefully make my land drops. Now cast Ancestral. Yeah, I think I let him have that. Like I want to get a soul land if they have one, right? So to stop them from playing for Crucible. Yeah, now I send us both back to Stone Age. I should be better at rebuilding because I have a bunch of cantrips. I have already destroyed three of my lands, so there are just not that many extra lands in our deck left. I have to be careful about that. Of course, an outward draw. It's a pretty insane draw. Helps us speed up the kill really quickly. And what it's like. It's pretty good. Debating them with the dress down now. Oh, I shouldn't have let land. That's bad. Could have. That was also not very smart. Yeah. Dress down plus down rush mystic is not a combo. But we should have won this game, right? Like, it's very hard for them to come back from this point. That's bad. I think I'm going to take the Saga with 2 counters, because I likely can kill my opponent before that comes up. Nice. And we're 4 now. That's round 5 against with a 2-2 vintage Dutch player. The center's wasteland, so we're going to keep it, but 7 card red hand is pretty hard to beat. Interesting thing. Yeah, we dodged. Yeah. I think we have to play around Force of Negation. Even if they didn't have it this turn, it's just too likely that it's just going to wreck us. Just finding a land isn't great. One chill in their hand. We need a land here. Okay, it's not a land, but what I do? Like, the problem is, right, they have features in their deck, so I'm going to take 9 damage for sure. I'm going to take 3 from this Icarus if I don't sort it, and maybe more from Icarus to come. But I think this is my only way to actually win the game. Lucky for us that Wedge was been quite bad. Alright, now they hit Nakomiwa, which gets pressed to my back. I get to put in Kaidra. So same question, right? We could search the Nakomiwa, but I think what I'm going to do is let it hit me. Will I? So alright. So I think I'm going to do this for sure. So if I attack, I can kill the Nakumi. I can kill the ghoul, and then attack me for 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of same, right? If I take a block. I want to extract these two. That's the attack. And fuck. Thought I was stable there, but wasn't meant to be. So we want these 10 cards against stretch. They got fun. The shredders. Would be just too slow. Sounds too slow. This just doesn't have like the only target from them is damage step, right? Mission score is too slow. I think it's too slow. Right? And then I mean, the problem is, right, that they can, if they figure they get both my Mox and my Leyline, but I think it's worth the risk here. The upside is just too high. This could be a bait. I think it's a bait I'm willing to take. Like, they could try to find bigger, right? Okay, and the blue card is obviously my best draw. Did they discard Hollow 1? That must mean they have Force of Vigor, Force of Will, I guess? Discard triple Hollow 1. Alright. I'll get on the draw. Infinitely harder. So this is Tabernacle and one Stoneforge again. Ancestral. I think I'm willing to try this. This is obviously, this loses to the Icarat and they kept 7 again. Crazy. Guess that's how you top 8 with stretch, right? One of 7s. And I guess it's how you top 8 with a blue deck. And you draw your Black Lotus a lot. Damn. Pre-order. I think this our plan shifts to being the control deck. We're hoping that they don't hit what's it called? Oh shit. That was bad. I should have played them off obviously. I didn't realize they have 8 cards. I guess I'm just playing Westland since I already have strip mine. Counter Amalgam. That's for me. That is obviously a very good draw. I'm not going to play both Moxen. Actually, I will play both Moxen out since I have to plus this down now. Like I was thinking obviously about what's it called? Force Bigger. But with Fluster Storm I think it's worth it. I love a Contagion. Limit bug and ghoul. I think I'm going to play the Tabernacle out. Like I don't want to expose Tabernacle to Wasteland, but I also want to save as much life as possible. Like I said, the way they beat Tabernacle usually is killing you with a mix of creeping shells and Icarus. We're 1 mana source away from casting Kara. Yeah, that's our 7th mana source. Interesting. It's an insane draw. It's better than casting Kara now. That stops Icarus as an outright. So getting this into play and protecting it is very important. Nice. Nice. And that's 6-0. Alright, round 6. We're against Beekeeper. This player doesn't have any finishers. So we're going with the trusty keep Detective from hand and turn 1 Stoneflash Mystic and hope it's good enough. Generally I would expect a newer player to be on a gag something. But this could be wrong, right? Could be on anything. Not big confirmed. So we're either against Breach or your Tempo. Well, I think I'm going to lead on this. That's a weird hand. Could still be both decks. So actually, no, I can't let Mystical resolve because if I let Mystical resolve, I can go Ancestral with Cluster backup. I have to misstep instead the Mystical. think breach plays upon negation, but yeah, probably breach. Yeah, tempered. I mean, it could still be Tinker, kind of a problem with Saga, but I can just slots in maybe Dex and modernize this gameplay. Alright. So I'm actually, maybe I shouldn't have fetched. I am not going to Birdlade here. I want to have both bosses live, and if they fluster my preordain, I can't really pay for it because I want to put in my cutter, right? So not going to use it this moment. Yeah. Interesting. So I'm playing a bird here, and I think I'm okay if they want to fluster my preordain. That's just they don't have preordain to protect their ancestor, right? Oh, they're going for ancestor now. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed the force. That was probably bad. I lose now, it's my own fault. I shouldn't have pitched the force. I was not thinking. Like, I thinking I'm playing with speech, right? So how I win, how I lose this game is by getting Lotus of the Saga, have Underworld Breach, and get to Mission Scroll for Rainfield, right? I was thinking about them Sagaing here, but it was just incorrect assumption. Yeah, deck is fine. I mean, if they have breach, I deserve to lose this. It's horrible. And fine. Still have 6 damage. So now this I will. No, it doesn't matter. We know the last card is force negation. Right? Okay. Okay. Same time. Last time against Breach, we want these 4 cards. Took out the swords because it's too slow. We don't need the plane. And we don't need the sword splashes because Kaido outside is Lilia. And I really need to tighten up. I'm really making too much dumb silly mistakes. That's if I think about it a little harder, a little longer. Yeah. This is turn 1 Stoneforge again. It answers Saga, dies to combo. I think I'm okay keeping those. Shouldn't yield. Okay. I think I'm going to strip the Saga just because it gets the Lotus. I have the dress down to answer it, but I think it's still annoying enough that I want to deal with it right now. A good sign for me. Like most breach list just doesn't have any answers to this Kaito. I'm thinking they probably have a Pyroblast, so I'm not going to cast any spades into that. Oh, not any valuable spades, I guess. But then it's fine. Bottom. I already have a dive spell. And maybe I'm okay if I want to Pyroblast Shredder because I just have so much threats already. I think I talked myself into it. Like I have so much card advantage in my hand. I just want to force them to use the Pyroblast if they have them. And if not, this Shredder likely going to help me kill them. Nice. And that's top 8, baby. Alright. Top 8. We got a rematch against Beekeeper. They were on some kind. They were likely on Grixis Tinker, on Grixis Breach, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, this one is a keep. So we're probably just going to preordain for looking for threats. Like there's obviously consideration to play the time walk, but I think I want to have the guaranteed blue card. And the upside of casting time walk later when I have a threat in play. Like this. Keeping the thing for the will, because maybe I need it, or just a pitch for Shredder. So we're waiting Saga for sure. The question is, do we play out the Shredder now? We missed the trigger from the jet. Probably fine. Fine. Probably going to next Unforge. So I'm going to. Oh, will I? Time walking here just doesn't really accomplish anything, right? I get one more damage in and see one new card. Not like they're threatening me at the moment. Could strip, they're volcanic, but then I'm vulnerable to a second saga. But how likely is that? I think it's worth it. Like the deck just plays 3 sagas, and I think if they had a saga, they would have just played it, right? So the read is that they don't have another saga, and getting them more blue sources is very important because it makes their combo harder to execute. I'm using this before and custom time off here. Just doesn't do anything and it can combine it for the trigger that I think I'm going to pitch force. Pitch force obviously not ideal to have to don't have counter spell, but I think how I win this game is by making progress in like getting ahead on board of either the bird or getting Stoneforge and equipping the bird. I guess we could just try to tinker, that's a possibility. But we, like, even with the second force right, we wouldn't have been able to cast it because we didn't have another blue spell. Hang on, I didn't get Time Vault? It seems strange. I think it was the top card, right? Top card was instead. So now I want the card it because I need the treasure the life total for final purposes. For the man, that were a lot of lands. So do they now get time for it? Not sure why they didn't just get it the first time. Okay. They could have just got time out of Tinker, right? They had a mana floating. Okay. So same deal as last time. On these 4 cards, and we take out planes for the Fire Knights 4 and 2 Klaus. Just only planes that don't are Wasteland deck. Cost is too slow, and the only creature is Lilia, and our card drops are Lilia. So we don't need Swords. And they often won't have any creatures, right? And having Swords for Construct is a losing proposition. Man, this is a blue also would be insane, but I think I still have to keep it. So I'm going to play Stoneforge and then Probe so I don't draw the Hydra. I'm only going to 5. Very good for us. I'm just going to misstep this Ponder because if they're gonna have the Pyroblast up for the Merchant Scroll, right? So getting my value from the misstep well can. Now putting them under pressure. And it's an interesting call. It seems like a bad play. You have Pyroblast in hand, you should save it. I don't like this play. We worked out for them, and I think it's just not how this game's supposed to go. I think I'm going to strip this volcanic, they can obviously have more moccasin and the academy becomes better, but I think I want to keep them off red for the moment. I think I want to. So if I let this resolve, they have 4 mana and can Tinker plus Cluster, right? I'm actually thinking I'm going to try to force this. Phew. Once again free. I think this one is just too slow. This one's better. Still don't love it, but just at least does powerful stuff. Or tries to do powerful stuff. So the question is, do we just merchant scroll? Like the problem is obviously while we open ourselves up to getting concrete, we go down on cluster. But I think this is just not a game where I'm allowed to keep a cluster the whole game. Like my hand is just maybe that means I should have actually put back Pearl and kept the second blue source. And now the question is, do I get Force or Ancestral? Ancestral is the winning line, the Force is the try not to lose line. I think it's probably Force, since we have already 2 preorders to dig for more action. And thanks for the read. For the message. I think since like this is obviously a bad situation, since they know my hand, they can bait me, right? Since they haven't shown me what's it called, Fetchland, I don't think I'm gonna fight over this. Yeah, Masaga is obviously a problem that we need to waste. It's only a good draw. I think I'm gonna leave up cluster ancestral. Not sure if I don't get the cluster that I will ancestral, but I want to at least have the option. Now they're leaving up 5 mana now. Could be Hardcast Force. Could be. Like, is there on the Yamaro version of the list? I could have Hullbreacher. I think I'm just going to pass here. But it's interesting. Actually think I'm continue to pass here. I really want my second blue source before I do anything. Oh, master. Oh. I think this now is my time in this instep that I have to fire up Ancestral because I just will overdraw anyways if I don't withdraw. It might be a bad sign, but we'll just have to win in hand. And I have to do it now, right? Could have a second Hullbreacher. Problem. Should have tapped this. I'm sure it really matters. I'm going to go top. Like, obviously it's not great to have Moxen into a deck, but it allows me to play in this deck and still have +half. I have the classic tinker. Unfortunate. Like, we just stumbled on our mana too much. Top card Ancestral. Man, they really want this win, right? Hmm. I mean, I'm probably that interested.